Okay, so today we are going to study about the cross features of thalamus. So this is the thalamus, which is a mass of gray matter. You can see over here. It is a part of the diencephalon and it is also called the interbrain. The diencephalon is also called the interbrain. Yes, thalamus has an anterior end, a posterior end, and the posterior end, and also the surfaces. So you have a superior surface of the thalamus, inferior surface of the thalamus, then you have the medial surface of the thalamus, that is the medial surface which forms the lateral wall of the third ventricle. As you know, third ventricle is the cavity of diencephalon. That is the lateral surface of the thalamus, which is related to the internal capsule. We'll show you in another section. This very clearly it is seen. Yes, in this section you can see that is the thalamus, which is related to the posterior limb of the internal capsule, and that is the internal capsule, V-shaped internal capsule. Even the lentiform nucleus is seen very well. So that is the thalamus. So it is related to the interior capsule. So in the sagittal section you can see that forms the thalamus over there, and here is the interventricular foramen of Monro. Yes, so that is the septum pellucidum, and below that you have the lateral ventricle. So that is the thalamus. An interventricular foramen of Monro is there, and that is the posterior end of the thalamus, or the pulvinar. So we want to see the pulvinar clearly. You can see here the pulvinar is seen very nicely over here. Yes, that projecting part of the posterior end of the thalamus is called the pulvinar. So you can see over here. So this is just showing you the gross features. Yes, so you can see the colliculi, the superior colliculus of the midbrain, and just above that the swelling is called the pulvinar. So now inferior surface, you can see two more swellings, medial and lateral geniculate bodies. These are part of the metathalamus, and they are associated with auditory and visual pathways respectively. Medial geniculate body with auditory and lateral geniculate body with visual pathways. So here again we can see this medial geniculate body, lateral geniculate body, and you can see very well the lateral geniculate body is receiving the optic tract, that is the optic chiasma. You can see it very well. You can even see the mammillary bodies. Okay, so that is the lateral geniculate body. Yes, and then it is receiving the optic tracts, both the sides. So that is the medial geniculate body, which is also, they are also connected with the superior colliculus and inferior colliculus of the midbrain. Okay, here we are showing you the third ventricle, and it is related to the walls are related to the thalamus, and it is lined with ependyma. So medial surface of the thalamus, both the sides. And you can see both the side thalami are connected with each other by the adhesion, interthalamic adhesion. That is the interthalamic adhesion. They are masses of gray matter. Okay, so both the sides, they are masses of gray matter. Thalami are nothing but masses of gray matter, and you can visualize the adhesion very well now. So interthalamic adhesion, which is connecting both the thalami. You can see it very well now. Now coming to the sagittal section again, you can see the thalamus very clearly over here. Then this part forms the hypothalamus. Just anterior and below to the thalamus is the hypothalamus. That is the interventricular foramen. That is the hypothalamic sulcus. Hypothalamic sulcus up to the, yes, so it continues to the aqueduct. Yes, so that is separating the thalamus from the hypothalamus. The sulcus is separating the thalamus from the hypothalamus, and it is also continuing to the fourth ventricle. So it is continuing to the fourth ventricle. Yes.